Let's get the barn going, bro. Why is Blue Suit Mark stronger than Anissa?
After losing to Anissa, it's stated by Cecil in the GDA that they think that he would be able to beat Anissa after he
The
trains and
the,
gets
the
like really
Anissa
strong.
they the Anissa they saw, right?
hmm
Okay. That Anissa that they saw, is she going all out?
Whether she is or isn't, I don't think matters because I think the statement should be true anyways.
It literally does matter because I'm putting into question whether or not Cecil has knowledge of her going 100%. Because if that is not the case, then he can't make that claim. Because he's making his claim based off of information of a skewed data source. He doesn't know the full potential of the person. That's like me saying I am capable of beating Ilya, right? But I don't know what Ilya is fully capable of. That's a skewed claim.
Well, you watched like Ilya versus Charles the other day, right? Like Charles got slumped. You don't remember that
Okay.
shit? Okay. So do you think Ilya could say like a week before the fight, I'm gonna beat Charles and have that statement be true even if he doesn't know it beforehand?
That's not responding. That's not analogous
Well,
to what
I'm
I'm
just
saying.
saying, well, hold on, I can give you an argument. I think all character statements should be accepted to be true unless we have a strong reason to think that they're wrong. Like just because a character doesn't know
I'm
something,
I'm
I don't
giving
think a
you
strong
I'm
reason
giving
as
you
to
the
why like a character
that
statement would be
is
wrong.
that is because he's making a claim. He's making a knowledge claim without enough information. I think that's more than enough reason to put something into question, brother. So, and I'm going to explain to you why your analogy doesn't work. Your analogy doesn't work because we have a lot of information on Charles Oliveira, which is why somebody like Ilya could confidently say, I think I can knock this guy out and around because of X and X reason. And when X and X reason comes to true in real life and he knocks him out for the same reason he told them to, he was justified in claiming that. So that was a proven claim. We don't have evidence like that to support that claim because his claim is based on a lack of evidence and we don't see the results of him fighting Anissa. So they're not analogous at all to what I was saying or even to the contextual situation. So Haram SpongeBob, without going circular, explains to me why that mark is stronger than Anissa. Go ahead.
So for the Charles versus Ilya thing, we could just say like for a hypothetical that like Ilya knows nothing about Charles, we know nothing about Ilya, we can't make any comments, we have no evidence. They're just two random bums on the street and they're making this comment. We know nothing about them. For the hypothetical. I'm saying for this, I'll give you the argument. I think all character statements that don't have a strong reason to be contradicted or to be untrue should be accepted. All that you said was that we don't know, we don't have the evidence, so we can be skeptical. That's fine, but that isn't a strong reason to say, okay, this thing is untrue. If I don't know if I'm going to have enough food in my bank account by the end of the week to actually. No, not food, sorry. If I don't know if I have enough money in my bank account, if I'm going to have enough money in my bank account by the end of the week to afford rent, that doesn't mean I'm automatically going to be wrong, and it's likely that I'm going to be wrong if I say I'm going to have enough money in my bank account by the end of the week to afford food.
Brother, who are
And
you debating right now? Are you debating me? Like
yeah,
actually,
I'm
honestly, God,
debating
like
you. I'm
you're
debating
responding.
you.
You're
I'm
making
so
a
locked in.
response to the arguments that came out of my mouth right now.
Yeah, I'm giving you
So
a
and you
response.
and you think that you just didn't go circular again, like that you responded to my actual point. They might you
I didn't
just
go
responded
circular.
to my point. You
Did you
you
hear my
go and
argument?
say you go yeah. I'm gonna repeat your argument back to you. I'm gonna see if you track where you didn't track. Right. You tell me. Right. I put something into question. Right. You tell me. I think things should be taken at face value if there isn't a strong reason as to why we shouldn't credit this information. I'm telling you that making claims on lack of information in itself is a strong reason to discredit somebody saying something. You make an analogy that had nothing to do with my argument or what I'm talking about, and then you reaffirm the position I put into question again, right? And then say, I think that if something is not If there's no strong reason to contradict something, that we should just accept it, which is my issue in the first place. I think there is a strong reason we shouldn't accept it. Do you understand this now, Big Boss? Now that I walked you through the argument this time, I'm being nice today. So
Okay,
we're going to
buddy.
be nice now. I just repeated your argument back to you.
Okay,
Do you
buddy,
have something
I'm
new
not
to add
gonna-
to the table?
Yeah, so you just completely missed an essential part to my argument. I'm going to talk to the judge now. Okay?
Sensational.
So,
Let's go
Jaro.
conclusions.
Yeah,
Just
Jaro.
conclude.
Yeah,
Conclude.
hold on.
We're
No,
gonna
no, no,
conclude,
no,
bro?
no, 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 no. I'm going to talk to the judge and make sure the judge understands my argument. Okay?
I actually don't get it. I'm not gonna.
Okay. So, Gyro, you're aware that I've already said during this convo that I think that we should accept all character statements to be true unless we have a strong reason to think that they're contradicted, and I can give an argument for that. Okay, you're aware that I've said this, right?
I mean, sure, yeah.
Okay, so I've said that. Okay, so let me just write that down.
Okay, just writing that down.
Wait, but that's already a strong reason, though.
I let him know this time. I literally let him know. If he responds, it's up to him, bro.
Wrong. What about? I literally don't know what I'm talking about. Is not a strong enough reason.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you want to say that you don't know what you're talking about, you can say that this person is unjustified in believing, right? Because they don't actually know the truth of the matter because they don't have adequate knowledge. You can say that they're unjustified in believing that this guy is actually stronger than this guy. Okay, you can question their knowledge. You can say that they're a retard and they know nothing. However, I'm talking about the statement on its own. I'm not talking about it being connected to the person whatsoever. Okay, I can give an argument for that, for why we should accept all statements. All statements within a story that don't have a strong reason to be contradicted, even if the character is a crackhead that knows fucking nothing, bro. Fucking nothing.
What?
Well, no, not if they're a crackhead that knows nothing. If they're like literally sitting in a room and they like have never met anyone in their life and they're like, I don't know, UI Daniel's the strongest character in Lookism or some shit. If that's within a story, at face value, I'm gonna accept that to be true, and I can give an argument for that. And Gyro, you're aware that Jester has never asked for the argument or gone against that in any way, shape, or form. And I've already somewhat have explained why, like, not knowing something initially doesn't mean that this thing can't be true. You get that, right?
What's that?
Okay, so Gyro, if I don't know if the ice cream man's gonna come today, are you saying it's like impossible? Are you saying it's impossible for the ice cream man to actually come today? And for what I say to be true, if I say that the ice cream man's gonna come today?
That's
Yes or
not
no?
the claim.
Wait, it's relevant. It's absolutely it's so relevant. What are you talking about?
Not the claim at all. This is not the claim
Jared,
at all.
Jared, just answer the question. Do you see where I'm coming at with that?
Okay, wait, hold on. Just heard fucking. Wait, hold on.
Stop fucking laughing. Stop.
No. Are you
Okay.
saying it doesn't matter if the character knows about it? Statements in story, they just need to be true or something like that. Is that what you're saying?
Well, not always need to be true, but need to be true unless we have a strong reason to think that they're untrue. So whether or not a character actually knows anything doesn't mean anything. If I don't know something, that doesn't mean that it's very likely that this thing isn't going to happen in reality.
Okay. A lack of certainty in whether or not the character actually has any sort of credibility about what he's talking about is already a reason to actually take the question and ask it about the statement.
Well,
like
no,
you said,
that
like
wouldn't
we
be
don't
asking
just
the
take
statement.
random. We don't take
hold on.
random questions.
Well, wait, no, let me ask you a question.
about-
Gyro, if I say to you as a person, right, I'm skeptical on if you know what you're talking about when it comes to ranking debaters. Are you saying that I'm literally questioning like the takes actually being true or not? Or am I skeptical on you actually knowing what you're talking about in the sense of you've seen these debates, you've seen has this guy won or lost to this guy, so you're an adequate source, a reliable source of information when making these judgments?
Well, I'll be obviously if I'm asking you, okay, I don't know. If I'm taking you as a source and saying, okay, well, because this guy said it, then this take is true. And if I'm saying, okay, well, is this guy even credible at all? Then obviously implicitly you're questioning the take as well.
questioning the take as well. So you think if I'm questioning if you're a reliable source of information, I'm automatically questioning if the if the
The information
itself
is credible.
no, not if the information is credible. Like, let's say, I don't know. Let's put this into an example. Let's say Gyro says that Sakazuki is like tier 6. I say Sakazuki's tier 6. Okay, I agree Sakazuki's tier 6. But I say Gyro hasn't watched a single Sakazuki recording. So I'm skeptical on if he's a reliable source of information when it comes to that, because I don't think bro is like doing his homework. I don't think bro is looking into the info. So because of that, I can be skeptical on you actually knowing shit without being skeptical on if the shit is actually true or not. That's fine, right? I just gave the example. It works.
The reason he's asking is because he disagrees with base Mark being above Anissa. That's the reason he's asking.
So yeah. So, you know, you're pointing something out great, boss, right? But your whole argument as to why Mark is above Anissa is based on a claim that's not credible, that you just conceded to that not being credible. So you're okay with the claim not being credible. So
well, a concession
what
would be
evidence?
if I no.
You're saying that it's okay for.
Wait, stop. You're misconstruing what I'm saying.
Stop interrupting me.
I'm not disagreeing with the claim being credible or not. I think the claim actually is true. I think it's credible. But the person, the source, I'm saying that person doesn't actually need to be a person that knows anything. They don't actually have to have accurate information.
I disagree with that.
I think that their claim is probably going to be true. And honestly, I think we should just move on to the actual argument for why I think the claim is going to be true.
You don't have a reason for that. The claim is just got put in question.
I can give you a reason right now. Okay, so the reason is, right, if you're writing a story and people are going to be reading that story, there's a level of trust between the author and the reader, okay? If the reader is reading your story or watching your show... and
why are you assuming the author's intentions?
I didn't say anything about the author's intentions yet. But let me make my argument.
The reader in the story, you're talking about the author.
Just let me make my argument first and then criticize it after, okay? So the argument is literally just this, okay? If you're going to be putting information into a story, people may accept that information to be true. If you don't want people to get confused on certain things such as power scaling, then you should not put information which could confuse the reader and give them a false notion of what actually happens during the story, because that's bad from a story perspective. Because hold on, here's the thing. When you're writing stuff like a fictional story with fighting is important. Power scaling is important, okay? The audience cares about power. So if you literally put something into the story, like this guy is saying that this guy is stronger than this guy, that information could spread confusion and literally give people the false impression of what you want to convey. So that's bad from a story writing perspective. So given that, the author ought not to do that. So it's unlikely that this thing is untrue.
The bard is gone. The whole farm is gone, bro. The farm is gone, bro.
Why did everyone fucking leave, bro? Am I that much of a snooze fest, bro? Are we serious?
Bro, my simple response to that, Big Boss, is that authors are open and have done this, and authors, you know, who aren't power scalers and don't care about power scaling will make the strength of characters ambiguous time to time. So you're making that claim that you would have to, I'm gonna have to make you prove that, right? Because they're not all thinking the same thing you are, unless you want to prove that his mental state is the same as yours. So I'll point out that authors can also make power levels of characters in comparison to each other ambiguous, have done so in the past before. You know whether or not that's what's happening here. The only thing that we have to piggyback off of, the reason why that's not evidence, the only thing that it circles right back to is the claim initially in question. And the claim initially in question, you don't have actual evidence for. Are you ready to conclude?
So for the author thing, I'll just respond to that. So making things ambiguous in some sense, like let's say we're talking about Gojo versus Sukuna, like the outcome of that fight before the fight actually happened. You know, you got incomplete information here and there, but if we're talking about an author actually trying to keep things ambiguous, them putting stuff which would kind of suggest the opposite, like they're they're putting characters within the story. They're actually saying that these things are true. Like this character is stronger than this character. Okay, those things don't really coincide with the idea of ambiguous power scaling. Okay, that is a motivator for why I'm gonna believe that this guy is actually trying to tell me
That's
something.
what's in
Because he's
McDonald,
putting that information into the story for a reason, right? What purpose
You're
does this thing?
reaffirming the position
Hold
again,
on. What purpose would that thing serve if that thing was not actually true in reality? It's just a character saying something which isn't true. It's just an empty statement. It's just a blatant lie.
Yeah,
Like why would you
think
want to read
authors do
that?
Yeah, I think authors do that, and reading.
They just
You know,
straight up
the
lie to
love
you?
for-
Can you give an example?
Yes.
Could you give an
you
example,
can't be
please?
lied to. A perfect
They
example
can,
would be
but
like
could you give an example?
some
Yeah.
sometimes in DC, like somebody goes like, "Oh,
wait,
Batman."
excuse
I'm
me.
definitely,
Wait,
I'm
excuse
definitely
me.
capable. I'm giving you,
Wait,
I'm giving you an
sorry, excuse
example
me.
of authors.
I
I'm saying,
don't read
you're
DC.
not,
Can
you're not
you give me an
understanding. You're
example
not
based on something I've actually seen or no?
something you've actually seen. What do you mean you don't? I'm talking about something comic related. Like, hello.
Yeah, I haven't really seen DC. Can you give me an example on like a story I've read or something?
Probably not from the top of my head, but I'll just give the example for the fucking judge. I don't really care. Like somebody could say like an author, because there's different authors, and this happens time to time. Somebody could say like, oh, like Batman's definitely very capable of like doing this and this, and then the character would get blatantly fraud checked. Like fraud checks happen in manga all the time. Like authors will go out of their way to purposely misinform the readers from time to time. For example, them saying Gojo has literally won, and in the next panel in the next chapter he's cut in half and did not win. So my issue is that if we are okay that authors will time to time purposely go out of their ways to misinform the reader and make stuff ambiguous, you can't just claim that they're doing the opposite right now. That is what I'm putting into question. You're reaffirming the position again. You've done this 4 times already in this debate. You burned it like never before. It's burned to the floor. It's just gone. The barn, the farm, the animals, they're dead. They're gone. The crops are gone. It's burned. Wildfire, California.
So with the Gojo thing and the Batman thing, what you're talking about is literally just a plot twist. That's a common like usage of like a narrative tool within a story. Okay.
Yes, to deceive the reader.
The thing is with a plot twist though. What you're directly telling me is that this thing is just not analogous. That's the thing that I'm seeing in the example, because we directly see that this thing is contradicted. You say that Batman can beat this character, but then he gets no diff by this character. He gets fraud checked.
Yes.
Or we say that Gojo beats Sukuna, but then in the next chapter of the story, he just straight up dies. So given that, that's a plot twist. The reader gets a certain, I guess, expectation for what's happening, and then directly after or sometime after, this thing is shown to be untrue.
Yes.
That creates,
so you see,
that's good. But with this thing, there is no plot twist. There's nothing that's being directly shown to be
well, we
untrue,
don't-
unless you maybe could show something for
so
that.
you're getting it. You're getting it now,
given
boss.
that, that's why I don't think
Boss, you're
it's
getting
a
it.
plot twist.
Boss, you're getting there. We're improving now. Listen, you're getting there, boss. Check this out. So if authors could purposely misinform and then set something up in the future that's opposite of the information, and that's a net positive for the narrative, then what I could be saying is completely true. So I would be justifying putting a statement like that into question, because the author could also be directly lying to you through this guy's mouth. And there's also good reason to believe as to why this guy is not a credible source of information that the narrative has laid out previously in the book. So I'm going to ask you again, Haram SpongeBob, without reaffirming your position, what do you have? Like, what's the next argument?
Oh, well, it seems that it's unlikely that it's a plot twist, because literally what we see during the show is Anissa said, it's just directly implied, that Anissa is saying that someone far worse is coming. That's the thing that's literally within the clip, like I can show you towards the end. We think that Mark could beat her, but she implied that someone much worse was coming. And this is something that directly came from Anissa's mouth. So hold on. So I would trust Anissa to be credible when talking about her own power, because that's the power that she lives with every day, the power that she uses to conquer other planets and stuff. So hold on, Mark afterwards.
What is your reading level? What is your reading level?
Stop.
Mark, what is your reading level?
Stop.
Like,
let me finish the argument.
This is levels of
Stop.
comprehension
Let me
I've never
finish the
seen in my
argument.
life.
Okay, you're the one with bad comprehension here. Mark
For
literally
sure,
fights
bro.
Conquest. Mark literally fights Conquest and beats him. Literally beats him. He goes relative with him. So for you to say that it's going to be some plot twist thing, I think it's super unlikely that Anissa would like straight up lie about her own
Really?
power. That seems kind of stupid for a plot twist point. No?
Okay. So to vary the claims and leave this here is that Anissa, says there's somebody far worse than her. That's fine. After she beat the dog breaks out of Mark, seemingly not trying, right? Um, she says, if you can't even, the claim is basically, if you can't even beat me, you won't have a chance against this guy. The moment Conquest gets on Earth, they think they're cooked because Mark can't beat this dude and they're gathering heroes to try to come and save Mark. Mark gets body bagged, fights this dude and still needs outside assistance to finish the fight, like significant outside assistance. So what I'm going to say is that none of the things that you're trying to frame narratively nor contextually point to your conclusion. They're literally just pointing towards mine that Cecil is just unaware how strong these guys are in reality, and Mark doesn't really scale to Conquest like that. So it could still just be the case that they are unaware of Anissa's strength. I'm saying that your initial argument as to why he would be stronger than Anissa is just going to keep going circular like you've been for 20 minutes and not go through because Cecil doesn't have enough information or knowledge to make that claim. And from a narrative perspective, it doesn't make any sense either. And from another perspective outside of the possibility claims, we know that the author could strip just be fucking capping to us. So you don't have an argument without going circular. Do you want to go to conclusions? Do you think you responded to what I said?
Okay, so you just gave a new argument, so I'm obviously going to respond to that. I don't know what you mean by I've been going circular. That's not true. I've been literally giving you new stuff for every single argument so far.
For sure, big boss.
For the whole Anissa thing, if you're agreeing that Conquest is much stronger than Anissa, okay, that whole claim that you're making afterwards about how we needed other people to help finish the fight, I don't know about that being used to prove that Mark is far below Conquest because Mark is only far below Conquest before this guy gets a rage amp after Eve dies. Holy shit. Holy shit. Yeah, so given that, I think that after Mark gets rage amped, this guy is going like bar for bar with Conquest. Okay? Given that, this is why I think that Mark isn't actually, the whole thing isn't actually meant to be some plot twist shit because the guy literally goes relative to Conquest. He goes bar for bar of Conquest. So this is why I think it's meant to show some progression where after he gets rage amped, the guy's actually above Conquest. Because I can literally show you this with the people who made the show Invincible on Prime Video in an interview. What they say is they wanted the people in season 3, the villains in season 3, to push Mark to his limits. They're directly talking about a growth in power. Okay? So I don't think it's trying to be some plot twist thing. I just think that it's literally just meant to be a progression of power.
Yeah, Haram, that doesn't point to your conclusion either. Do you think that there's a significant endurance difference in combat between Conquest and Mark?
I don't know. Because
Okay.
Mark isn't put in the same
Is
situation.
who yeah, brother. So when Eve, Eve is the one that like really like puts the nail in the coffin and injures him to the degree that allows Mark to like basically kill Conquest, right? Like that, right? That before, even when he got a rage amp, like he was never able to get Conquest to that point. Like they could be clashing, right? Like on thingy, but one person's gonna give up before the other person does. And in reality, he needed significant outside assistance.
I don't know if I agree with that because he was literally beating up Conquest like on screen
I
before
don't
like Eve pulled up. Hold on. Jared just went on deafen. Should we get him to undeafen first or should we just show him the wreck?
that's
Dude, okay, hold on. Bro. Oh yeah, Jester, I'm still recording on OBS. I just kicked the power bot because this guy Kuro uploads like every rec. Like everyone just shares recs with him, and that's like weird as fuck. Cause he doesn't even ask people before uploading the recs. So like literally, bro. I mean, yeah, I just don't want that like every single rec getting like spread. But I still have it on OBS though.
How did he get this? Like, I'm actually confused.
Okay,
What the hell?
okay. So here's the thing. This is a private server. Literally look in chat. Okay, so the power bot was saved. Like literally, just scroll up a little. Literally, someone in this server sent him the power link, and he just uploaded it. Like, ban anyone who's like associated with Kuro, has Kuro added. Like, if you're a mutual friend of Kuro, like let's literally like ban anyone who's like a mutual friend of Kuro, or they have to
I know
like
about it.
unadd Kuro so that they can't like do that shit. Because it's like actually just weird, bro. Like. I can't like debate in any server without this guy uploading my recs. This guy like immediately uploaded Me vs. C, which was an hour and a half long. He didn't watch a single second of the recording, and he fucking made the like thumbnail of the rec Takamura just killing someone, bro. And it was just C. Like, it's actually just weird, bro.
Wait, I don't have Goro added, so you have to check that for me.
Yeah, Big Boss.
Yeah.
He, gets a rage amp, breaks his glove, clashes with him.
Wait, let's
Right.
repeat the point for Jester. No, not Jester. My bad. Let's repeat it for Gyro.
Distracting.
Gyro. Okay, wait, Gyro. We were just saying. So, Jester's trying to say that like Mark doesn't scale to conquest or something, and he like needs help to even
No.
beat him. I'm saying
Yes.
like Mark was just straight up beating conquest before,
There's,
like he got help.
He
So,
can hit him. Like,
that's
I'm
the
okay
thing.
with him hitting him. Like, right. But there's a significant like endurance and like durability gap between both of them, right? Like, they could hit each other. Like, that's cool, right? But even when he got the rage amp and he started like beating the shit out of Conquest, like Conquest still wasn't really like down for the count at all. And he kind of just gets up, grabs him by the throat, and then incaps Mark again, post rage amp. And then, well, he's gone.
Mark is literally
Already
off
care.
guard there. Like his girlfriend just comes back to
That's-
life. Obviously, he's gonna like be off guard and look at her, and then like Conquest takes
That's
advantage
fine.
of that and then throws him over.
He-
But
he
the
still-
thing is,
he still reacts to- bro, that's fine. He still
the thing is, Mark was literally like slumping him to the ground, beating the shit out of him.
He still reacts to Mark even after he gets brutally injured and then instantly breaks his hand, where Mark has to headbutt him, and he's again brutally injured, and Mark barely beats him, brutally injured and like rage amped. So like I don't want to hear it. Like I really don't want to hear it. Like that's not, he doesn't scale to him. Like that's not a fucking like I'm relative to. Like I don't think that's true.
Mark literally has one of his arms like just destroyed. Why didn't you mention that? Like, why are you like selectively like talking about how your character's nerfed without
The
talking
guy
about my
just got
character?
all his brother, because my character's been beating the shit out of him in a 2v1, bro.
It's not a 2v1. One guy sneaks attacks, and then just goes down, and then they continue the 1v1.
He broke his hand on something.
Wait, look at my
that
life. Look at my
doesn't
life. This like actually
bro,
dishonest as fuck.
he broke it, bro. He broke his hand on something that doesn't scale to the durability of my character.
He's beating
What
the
the
fuck out
fuck?
of him, bro. He literally put him to the ground and just
How are
lands
you?
like 16
How are you?
punches.
Haram. How are you still ignoring what I'm saying? Mark
I don't care if his skin is burned off. I don't think that's a relevant nerf here. I think he still performs at a similar level.
Can you, bro? What about that rage amp Mark broke his arm on something that doesn't scale to the durability of my character? Do you not understand? Like, what
do you
about
mean
that? Do you not understand?
The gauntlet doesn't scale to him in durability?
No, the metal gauntlet does not scale to conquest and durability.
Like at all? Like it's not even comparable?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay, what's the argument for that? That sounds stupid to me.
Because Conquest is feeling the shock of that same impact and his body's intact. It doesn't go through his fucking arm.
Hold on.
It's common sense. No, oh, you're frozen. Like, what?
No, I just wanted to look at it one more time. I kind of didn't understand what you said, so I'm going to ask you to like explain it in more depth.
Okay,
Okay.
so you see
both
how
feeling it.
Mark.
Mhm.
Okay, you see how Mark's arm is broken, right?
Yeah.
His hand gets broken, right? Okay.
Papi, come here.
So they clash, and the force of that impact does nothing to the rest of Conquest's arm. Do you understand
Yeah,
that?
but only Mark's hand gets broken though. So I mean, if you want to say that doesn't scale to the rest of his body, I mean that would be kind of weird though.
He breaks through it and hits the fucking glove that's connected to his arm. So on point impact, if he breaks through one thing easily, the thing that he's impacting prior should also be taking damage based on what he's punching, right? Because if Mark punches this guy with all his strength and can't perform a similar feat on any other part of his body, then no, the glove doesn't scale to conquest and durability. The problem that I'm having here with you is that after he breaks his arm on the glove, right, and then, you know, gets on top of conquest and is punching him with all his might in his fucking face and is not really doing any damage, and then Eve blasts him and incinerates him, like, and just puts him in physical shock. And then even after that, Conquest could still react to Mark and then instantly break his hand with his hand. He doesn't scale to Conquest and durability, and he doesn't have Conquest's endurance at all. Even when rage amped, he wouldn't win the fight. He doesn't scale to him at all. What about that you're not understanding?
Okay, so hold on. Just because Conquest has a better showing of endurance, I don't think that grants that they don't have, like, I guess, endurance, which would both be, like, relevant and, like, I guess important in the sense of the fight.
He outperformed him in a category.
I don't think that Conquest. Wait. I'm just saying. I don't think Conquest endurance. That showing automatically means that in the context of a fight, the endurance would actually play a factor. Just because you have a better endurance showing doesn't mean that Mark can't replicate it. And it also means like a lower level of endurance that they could show during the fight is just enough to where both people would be evenly matched or comparably matched.
That's just a concession. Just conclude, bro.
How's that a concession? What did I disagree on that now I agree with now?
That let's just conclude. You're affirming and denying your position, and you affirmed your point and denied it in that same line of reasoning. That literally made no sense.
I didn't affirm and deny it. I'm just not accepting the idea that Conquest is massively above Mark in endurance. I don't think that proves anything.
Okay,
and
you cannot agree.
If he was, even if he was, that's not relevant to the argument because the lower level of endurance that both of them are going to use afterwards can just be the same in terms of relevance to the fight.
Can't prove that. All right, that's fine. Yeah.
I'm saying it could be. I'm not saying it is. I don't have to prove that.
Let's say, let's go to conclusions, bro. You lost. You're not responding to me.
Okay. Also, let me ask you this: do you think AP and durability are going to be equal or no?
It should
be.
For
punching. Okay.
Yeah, that should be the case.
So why is it? So do you think that Mark has better durability then? Because Mark's hand doesn't just completely explode here, whereas oh wait, no, because you think the gauntlet doesn't scale. I see. Okay.
Yeah. Now we're tracking, brother. Good job, boss.
So okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, good job. You just tracked.
So what? So can you repeat something? Because I think I lost track. Could you explain the relevance of the gauntlet thing?
Boss, I know you lost track, right? That's why I'm telling you to conclude, because we've been engaging on this for 5 minutes and you just realized you weren't tracking me. I no longer wish to engage any further. Just conclude on the point, brother. That's insanity. You just sat there oh damn, I'm not responding to him. You just realized it. I've been trying to point this out to you for 5 minutes already and you just kept arguing past me. You're good. This is the second debate that you've done this in. At least you're realizing it now. Just stop it here.
No, I'm definitely responding. I was just asking you the repeat because I might have because I don't fully remember, but I have a general idea, so I could probably just respond to this. Hold on, no. So
conclusions, big boss.
Wait, hold on. I just want to respond to what you just said real quick. So after this happens, this is a whole narrative thing. This entire fight, after the rage amp thing, they're obviously relative. I'll explain to you why. Earlier on, during this fight...
Who are you debating?
I'm debating you. I'm debating you. No, let me finish.
Yo, big boss
okay,
guy.
You don't have to respond, but let me give my argument, and then I'll dip.
Wait, I don't get it. What's the point of arguing about Rage Amp, Mark? Anyway.
Yeah, I'm just trying to say, because we're trying to say that I'm trying to say that Mark is relative to Conquest. He thinks Conquest is just massively above. He doesn't think Mark is relative at all. And this ties into the earlier conversation, because we were What we were trying to say earlier was Jester was trying to say that the whole statement of Anissa could just be a plot twist thing where the author is going to say that Mark is above Anissa, but then later on we're just going to get proven wrong for a plot twist. But what I'm trying to say here...
You labeled it as a plot twist. I never said a plot twist.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say... Yeah, it doesn't have to be a plot twist. It could just be like... I don't know.
It's just a
like,
literary technique that's used commonly. Yeah, a literary technique that's used commonly. Yes.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is I don't think it makes sense for it to be a plot twist because... I think it's more of like progression of power because later on, because Anissa says that Conquest is just way worse than her, way stronger than her. We agreed to that, and I'm trying to say that Mark goes relative to Conquest after all this, so I don't think it's going to be a plot twist thing, because like Anissa, obviously, we agreed to this, Anissa's probably not going to be lying about her own power.
Him going relative is what's in question.
She admits that Conquest is way stronger. That's something that we agreed to already. So after
you're rambling. Him going relative is what's in question.
If Mark goes relative, yeah, I'm about to justify it. I'm just narrating to Gyro because he asked.
You asked for this, Big Boss?
I asked why is it relevant to talk about Rage at Mark?
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, this is meant to be a progression of power thing. He gets Rage Napped here, and this point is just meant to illustrate that Mark is actually now at a level to where he's comparable to Conquest, who's way above Anissa. Anissa admits that Conquest is way above her. So if he's relative to Conquest, he should be above Anissa, so I don't think it's going to be some plot twist thing. So, yeah, literally just that.
So where's the justification here?
Yeah, so... he doesn't feel this thing, like the rest of his body doesn't feel like the shockwave of the attack. That's fine. The AP can be worse on the gauntlet, the durability can be worse on the gauntlet too. But then afterwards, these guys are going relative in speed. They're going relative in AP because Mark is able to punch Conquest with his other arm, his left arm, and damage him multiple times. And he literally slumps Conquest to the ground and starts beating on him. Right, and I do think
you
Conquest.
Can't hurt him though.
I do think no. He's hurting him. He's making him bleed.
And yeah, but he's not. There's no real significant damage. Like he's just gonna keep destroying his body, and Conquest's body gonna be completely intact. That's the issue.
I think he's definitely causing relevant damage. And I was about to argue for this.
Yeah,
this is a narrative thing. I don't want to rant. I'll just keep this to like 30 seconds, okay?
Right, you've been holding this hostage for like a good minute, Big Boss. Bro.
I'm not holding this hostage. This is a debate. Obviously, I'm going to give you my argument during a debate, bro. Yeah, so anyways. So what I'm just saying here is earlier on during this fight, Conquest is talking about how conquering Mark's planet is too easy. He's angry and he doesn't like the fight because the fight is too easy to him, okay? And he's talking about how he wants to see Mark's Viltrumite spirit, and he wants to see Mark's Viltrumite heart. He wants him to actually try and do better. He wants to give him the right motivator by maybe killing some people around him, some civilians, so Mark gets stronger because he has this motive to protect Earth and the people around him, so that he tries more, gets stronger. Helping me. Yeah, gets stronger.
You're arguing for me, Big Boss.
And actually goes relative to Conquest. So after he gets mad, I think he goes relative to Conquest. And let me just play this to you. Conquest says, now we're talking after his gauntlet is destroyed. Obviously, what Conquest is saying here is conquering your planet is no longer too easy. I now enjoy fighting you.
Wow, that's, what is that? A slippery slope fallacy? Like, I don't think that leads to that conclusion. I think what you've pointed out is Conquest trying to literally creating a micro scenario to make it possible to Mark to fight back to some degree to make this more fun for him because he was bored because it was too easy. You're literally arguing for me and just gave me a motivator as to why they're not relative. Again, like you just beat yourself in a debate. How do you do that?
No, I didn't, bro.
You just beat yourself.
No, I didn't. Literally, bro.
You lost to yourself.
It's not a slippery slope fallacy. Hold
on.
on. A slippery slope fallacy is literally just if you have like no probable cause towards like saying something is probably going to happen.
It's not. I don't think it's slippery slope. My fault. I think the term is hasty generalization. I don't think that leads to that conclusion. Yeah.
A hasty generalization? How is it a hasty generalization?
Because I don't think it leads to that conclusion. Like you just made a bunch of claims.
No, that's a non sequitur. That's not a hasty generalization.
Define hasty generalization, bro.
A hasty generalization is we say like, I don't know, one dog is red, therefore all dogs are red or some shit.
Yes, that's what I think you did.
Okay, that's not the same thing. We're not talking about like 100 different things here, like an entire category. We're talking about one thing not leading to another. That's a non sequitur. And it's not a non sequitur either. I'll literally explain why. If Conquest himself is saying that conquering your planet is too easy, why would he then say now we're getting somewhere after Mark destroys his gauntlet? He wouldn't enjoy that. It would still be too easy for him if they're not relative at all. They're obviously relative. Look at this. He literally punches him in the face and blood is squirting out of this guy's face.
That's what the relativity it's what's in question.
I just gave you a feat.
Because you could punch somebody in the face and then they're gonna look at you like you're stupid and then they're still able to beat the shit out of you. Like if you
like,
punch
blood is squirting out of his face though.
That's fine. Like he could draw blood from him, right? But if Conquest is just literally able to just grab him and tank everything without taking any actual significant or sufficient damage to be shown and still trooper on and conquer his planet, I don't think they're relative, right?
What do you mean by
like,
significant damage? Do you think he has to like destroy his like skull or something? It doesn't have to be to that level. People in real life don't do that all the time.
Brother, you're not understanding. Listen, I'm gonna break something down for you. I don't think a rage amped Mark, a stronger version of the Mark that's getting the shit beaten out of him, completely breaking his arm on something that is of significantly lower durability than the actual person is a feat to say these guys are relative. I think Conquest's endurance and durability is so like he's so gapped of Mark that even if Mark is somewhere relative in speed, him hitting this guy and doing no real damage is not a feat to me. I don't care, Drake. People draw blood from each other all the time. Like Mark drew blood from Omni-Man, but they're not fucking relative. Like that's just the case. Like yes, he punched Omni-Man in the face. I think this guy created a combat scenario for this dude to make this more entertaining for him. That in itself leads to the conclusion that they're not relative, right? You saying that, oh, he created a specific combat environment for him and he was too bored to fight him in the beginning, so now he wants to make him stronger. So that leads to the conclusion that they're relative now is literally a hasty generalization. That is literally a hasty generalization. You think I strawmanned you? 100%.
Like the wrong
listen.
and saying it's a hasty generalization. You don't know what you're talking about.
Brother, define both of them.
Hold on. Hasty generalization is literally when you're just saying the whole or a large sum of the whole is literally true because some of this large sum or the whole is part of this, okay? That's a hasty generalization. Okay, that doesn't make sense. You're saying that this is a non sequitur because this thing doesn't follow. It doesn't make sense. That's what you're saying. Okay, it's a different fallacy. Then what I'm saying with this is, literally, if you're saying that a fight is too easy before, but now afterwards you're saying now we're talking, you're obviously implying there that now the fight isn't too easy. Now it's something that can actually challenge you. It's not easy anymore. And if a fight isn't easy for you, I think that two people are relative. I think that the two people here that are fighting are relative because the fight is not easy for Conquest. You're talking about significant damage, but the damage doesn't need to be significant. Mark doesn't have to shatter Conquest's skull for it to be significant damage. The fact that he's tagging him multiple times, making him bleed a decent amount, and going relative with him multiple times, this is what makes me think that they're relative.
It's that being relative. You're reaffirming. Stop talking. Gyro. This nigga is reaffirming that this is relative again. I've given my disagreement why I don't think that's relative. You went circular again, and now I need to explain to you basic common sense between a non sequitur and a hasty generalization, and why I think you're making a hasty generalization. This is not a non sequitur argument, right? Because you don't know what the fuck they are, right? A non sequitur is like, hey, I don't think that nothing you're saying is logically following to this conclusion. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying, hey, this could follow this, but I think what you're saying is the opposite. So you're representing these premises to lead to a false conclusion, which is definitionally a hasty generalization, not a non sequitur, you dickhead. So now I'm going to explain to you. Are you ready to go to conclusions or no?
I mean, if you're going to make a new point, then I don't want to go to conclusions, but explain this to me. Go ahead.
I already explained it, Big Boss.
You just said, do you want me to explain it to you? Go ahead.
Yo, boss, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm feeling good.
You're okay, boss?
Yeah.
What didn't you hear the explanation for?
I thought you were about to tell me something new. You were about to say, do you want me to explain this to you? If you're not, then that's fine.
I don't think. You want to conclude right now? Yes, I'm ready to conclude, boss.
I mean, I'll literally just explain this. So obviously, anyone who's judging this off of it, like literally, you can just intuitively figure this out. My argument does make sense. It's very clear and obvious. Actually, I want to say one more thing, but this is the last thing I'm
Go
going to
ahead,
say for
boss.
the debate. Okay?
Go ahead, boss.
If you're just intuitively judging this thing, obviously I didn't commit any fallacy. My argument does make sense. The premises follow to the conclusion. They're sound, they correlate to reality, all that stuff. There's no issue with it. So I'll literally say this to you. Conquest and Mark are literally rushing at each other. They're throwing another set of attacks at each other for this sequence of the fight, and then afterwards, no person has like major or significant damage on one another afterwards. So they're going relative. Both people are enduring, and their AP. It's not so great on either side to where one person is literally breaking the bones of the other person, at least not from what we see visually. So I literally think that these guys are literally
is
just
literally what
going
happens.
blow for blow. They're relative. I think the evidence suggests this. I don't think you defeated the argument. I think my argument makes more sense. We can conclude.
All right. Do you need verdict, guys? Let's get it.
Go. Just give it, boss.